What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I see the titles going down. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button for me, please. Ain't gonna talk too much.
All right, Dana, isn't this symbolic of who she is? Fake it till you make it.
Well, I would also say this. If it's working for you, why change it? Because I think, so it's Wednesday. I think, couldn't she get through the next 2 days without doing an interview? Yeah. And then they're going to see her a lot next week during the convention. So you can keep it going for another at least 10 days probably. And then maybe she sits down with an interviewer, maybe like the Monday or the Tuesday after the convention, and tries to get some sort of nice run into Labor Day. She will talk to the media at some point. It's not like she never will. And I think the media is starting to pay attention. The Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post editorial board had a whole list of questions. They're like, here's all these things we would love to ask her. I mean, at some point it will. Let's go back to my metaphor of the Jenga campaign. Right now it's super easy, and they're pulling these things, and it's easy to put it on. And it gets harder as you get a little bit closer. But no doubt, the media is not pressing her because they're not able to get to her. But also, President Trump, you said it in the A block. He has to make the case against her because the media is not going to do it. Like, the Republicans can complain that the media is not doing that, and then this nonsense of changing the headlines that were already good for her.
Yes.
They changed to be even better for her. And do you think about that guy from the one guy from the Washington Post last week?
And then the funny thing is, like, not trying to cut her off, but the funny thing is, if you type in Trump, everything bad pops up. I don't like everything bad. Literally, everything bad. I was literally looking for a picture of Kamala yesterday, and it was nothing but great pictures. I looked up a picture of Trump. Everything bad, bro. Like, you literally get everything bad. My thing is with this whole thing, she's not talking to press right now, but how I look at it is that she's not going to do nothing. It's not doing nothing but making it worse. She looks better with talking to press and talking, and answering questions now than it will be later, because once even the convention come to debate, I'm telling y'all, it's over with from there. Me personally, I think so, because it's a lot of stuff that isn't answered. When she does try to answer these questions, it doesn't sound right. You get the word salad. You get, her telling lies and being fake and want to laugh. You get that. And it's not doing nothing but making it worse. So,
in the White House briefing room said, what are you going to do about Trump talking to Elon Musk? I mean, shouldn't you stop this? There's so much misinformation. And they're like, oh, well, we would never do that. But they would do this. I'm pointing up there because there's graphics that I can see that you can't, apparently.
And Greg, isn't that the issue? I mean, you've got big tech and the Democrats and the mainstream media. They've been out of their minds over the possibility of misinformation and disinformation. And yet for this, you could doctor up headlines. You can do a political ad on TV, and the sheriff comes out and says she didn't do anything in this case, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's just greedy. Right? Yeah, it's like, do you really need to do this? Aren't they already biased enough in your favor?
Yeah.
It's like, it reminds me of what some of us kids did with report cards. You turn an F into an A. But it was kind of like they already got the A, and it's like you wanted an A+. That is greedy.
I did that.
Yeah, I bet you did. According to an MRC poll, over 70% of Democrats aren't familiar with Harris's radical policies.
Yep.
And that's a win for Harris.
Yep.
But it's got to be weird to be happy when fewer people know about your beliefs. Like, they don't think I'm as crazy as I really am. Maybe rethink.
But you got to think too, like, it's important for us as, curators. When y'all see these different curators throw out this content and when you hear people say, make sure y'all like the video and share the video when you're doing this type of content, it's great when y'all do this, not for the simple fact, obviously it benefits the creator with everything, but it also spreads out. And that's the big thing that, a lot of these creators focus on is getting out the truth and what it is, because a lot of people aren't realizing what's actually going on when it comes down to Kamala and her lies. I mean, a lot of people aren't realizing that. They're just looking at the fact, she's so-called, she says that she's black now, and she literally gives out free concerts at her rally. So, I mean, when you see stuff like that, she's talking to this rapper and she's doing this and doing that, that's all you see. You know, that's literally all you see. It's the same thing with not really the same thing with Obama, but a lot of people push that, you know, he's a black president, you know, and my parents are Democrats, and they push that, you know, him being black. And I feel like a lot of people push that, you know, him being black. And, you know, you have Michelle Obama, and you have this, you know, this family, and we all know, we've been through this. You have this family that people see and not realizing the policies and realizing what's actually going on. And I feel like a lot of people are looking so much of a person's color and who they're talking to, what creators they're talking to, what creator loves them, what rapper, what actor is going with them, rather than the actual policies that, you know, President Trump or, you know, Kamala is, you know, going for. And I feel like a lot of people are putting it towards so much of emotions. Oh, I don't like Trump. He's the R word. He does this. He says this. He says these things. When really, there's a lot of stuff, if you go back the past years of what Kamala has done, negative, because she hasn't done anything, you know, for the American people. But just for the simple fact, people got to start realizing, you know, what it is. And it's up to us, you know, to spread this out there. So when we say like the video, share the video, this, that, and the other, it's serious, you know, because a lot of other people, they aren't seeing what's going on. Just what Greg just said. We're going to get back in the video. I'm sorry for talking too much.
They don't think I'm as crazy as I really am. Maybe rethink your beliefs. If you're grateful that you're hiding them from the public, you know what? Why not just listen to the public and have to like worry about what you said before? It's like a cheating husband. What did I say before? I've got to keep lying. No, why don't you just listen to the people? But right now, I think what you're saying is, you know what Kamala Harris is to the media? It's her second wife. You know, Joe. They get Joe's gone, and they got the second. Oh, it's the second wife. It's
she's
like
younger,
she's
prettier.
younger.
Yeah.
She's younger. Let her spend some money. Don't get to, you know, because you're gonna get tired of her soon enough.
You really do come up with the best analogy.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was just off the top of my head.
And, you know, Charlie, the media is already on her side. You know, she's changing headlines, and they're already headlines in her favor. So she's going above and beyond. But it's almost like state-run media. They're fine with it. I mean, 25 days.
Yeah, and I think it's staggering, and it is like state-run media. And by the way, it's two different entities that do not care about this changing of the headlines. One is Google. They're like, well, it's legal, whatever.
Yeah.
But whether it's legal or not, or you know, it goes by their rules or not. You're talking about The Guardian, you're talking about all of these different newspapers, these news outlets, who should be upset that this is the misinformation that they've been yelling at us about for so long. But I do think that at some point the public recognizes this. And I know that people complain about, you know, Trump does these big long speeches and he talks about all this stuff, and even some Republicans wish that he wouldn't be quite so entertaining, but he doesn't have a choice. If he wants to break through these people and get his message to regular voters, like the voter that we saw in that clip in the first block, the only way it's going to happen is if Donald Trump does it and does it in his way. And it's not like this is not something you learn at politician school. Trump didn't go to politician school. And so, yeah, maybe he colors outside the lines when he goes into these things and he says things that aren't particularly politic. But if it breaks through, it's the only way he can win.
You know, Newsweek had a headline, Jessica, and they rewrite Trump's pledge to eliminate taxes on tips as, quote, Kamala Harris's tax proposal. And they go on to say that the majority of Republicans endorse her tax proposal.
Yeah, so
I mean, isn't that a bit much?
well, the thing with the no tax on tips policy, which the Democratic senators have endorsed, and it has bipartisan popularity, but there is a distinction between the way the Democrats would do it and the way that Trump would do it. So the way the Kamala Harris plan would work is there would be an income limit, because right now there's a loophole in Trump's approach which would allow people like corporate lawyers, for instance, to take advantage of it, or people who work at hedge funds. So they want to make sure that it's actually for people who are earning low wages. And I should note that the Culinary Union came out and endorsed Kamala Harris. Donald Trump went on this whole thing like, I'm so good for the servers, and he did this in Las Vegas. They talked to a woman who said, you know, my tips are getting taxed, and the culinary union didn't care and endorsed Kamala, who they believe will be better for her.
But it was not her tax proposal. In fact, 2 years
But
ago,
she
she
took-
voted to strengthen the IRS. so
I'm
that they
saying
could go
there's
after it.
bipartisan support for
No,
it, but the
we're
way that
talking about
she's doing
Kamala, not
right,
bipartisan.
but she's part of bipartisan, which is why Jackie Rosen is also in support of it. Can I say also about the no press conferences thing? I've not spoken to one regular Democrat, no one who works in media, who cares about this at all, to Dana's point. They are living in the coconut-pilled moment, and when it ends, and I'm sure that she will do interviews. Maybe she'll sit down with Leslie Stahl, and she'll do it with Tim Walz and do something big after the convention, but she will be in front of people nonstop next week. And in terms of the standard, you know,
This is exactly the reason on why I cannot stand this woman right here. This woman is a big problem, and there are people, sadly, that are just like her. You have a woman that we've been through this yesterday. You have a woman that makes up excuses for somebody that is literally putting America through it right now. This woman doesn't have to worry about that. I'm pretty sure people were commenting in my comments and said she makes well over $900,000 a month. I mean $900,000 a year. That's a lot of money. You and I both know that. She's pushing this and pushing Kamala and her administration to the point where she literally belongs on The View. And I say that because it's like, you're a person that is dragging this so bad, trying to have other people believe in what you're talking about, the lies and the excuses coming out of your mouth. This is the exact part. This is why I don't like. Just listen to this.
in terms
I
of
know
the
y'all don't want to, but listen to this.
standard, holding her to her old policies, and maybe this backfires on her in some ways, the most accurate representation of what kind of policies Kamala Harris supports are the ones that came out of the Biden-Harris administration. And she's going to have to live with that. If that's not good for inflation, that's one thing. If it's trending in her direction, which I believe that it is, maybe it ends up better. But Donald Trump has been, for instance, saying that he's going to introduce a big, beautiful health care plan. And there are no specifics on it. And Kamala is being held to a standard where she has to tell you the nuts and bolts of things, where people are saying, you tell us exactly that. She's supposed to talk about her economic plan on Friday. The press is already saying it'll be, quote, light on detail. They don't know. Could it be as light as big and beautiful? I doubt it.
Are you actually?
Listen, y'all. Y'all know when y'all had that one person? I said this before. Y'all had that one person in the group, the friend group, and it's just always, and it ain't got to be right now, y'all friend group. Just back in the day. It's just, people that a little group of friends, and it's always that person when you just having a good time, everybody on the same topic and agreeing on the same topic, and then it's just that one friend that just, everybody just quiet, like, and everybody give off this certain type of energy to where what's wrong with her? Like, is she okay? That's what she gives off.
Arguing that Donald Trump is held to a lower standard than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, actually, I am. If you could
next
say,
up,
I'm going to get rid of Obamacare and I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
then that is the lowest standard of all time.
Republicans aren't really known for creating large government programs.
You still need a health care policy.
Well, you know what? A health care policy doesn't need a huge government program. It's about private stuff.
Also, she gets away with being
poor
for
people really
Medicare
feel
for all
that
and then
way.
not, and then whatever. Yeah, but also Donald Trump did not come up with no taxes on tips for corporate lawyers and hedge fund managers.
Right.
I tip my hedge fund manager all the time.
Yes.
Then why isn't there
Only
an
around
income limit?
Christmas.
She be so mad. Everybody's sitting here laughing, and you got to see her face. Look, smile, 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 and then you got Jessica Tarlov mad, like always. I'm telling y'all, it's like, it's a good thing, and I know a lot of people like, Jessica Tarlov needs to be out the show. I say it all the time. I think it makes the show. It gives a conversation. It gives a conversation. I've been doing reactions for a while now. And, when it comes to sports and comedy and, different music videos, and I'm reacting with such and such. I didn't react it to as many as 4 or 5 people. And it brings you conversation. So I feel like she does bring, the conversation, even though she says stuff that can be, y'all know the word for it. You can insert any negative. But I'm just saying, one thing about it, she gives off pretty much a great conversation for us to, talk about and for us to give out. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something positive. I think I'm just trying to think of something positive. I don't know. But I definitely appreciate y'all. Much love to y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next 2 videos dropped today, which I already know. Catch y'all next one.